everybody, today I'm going to be talking about some of my favorite childhood items. Now if you're new here, same as I'm ringing the bell. So I feel like a big theme on my channel in the last few years is nostalgia. Like, I love old school things, like old school video game consoles and old toys. I kinda wanted to talk about some of my favorite childhood toys and stuff like that, and I kinda wanted to talk about it. So yeah, let's get started. So the first one I want to start out with is something that's a little small. I got some fidget spinners. Now, for people who don't know, fidget spinners back in 2017 were like a big thing. Actually, not even the whole year, probably like the early parts of 2017. And I was obsessed with these things. And it's weird because like now whenever I see them, like they are just so cheap because I remember people used to overprice them. Yeah, so fidget spinners, like looking back at it now, it was kind of dumb. Like, because, like, I mean, I didn't really have anything else to do because I was around, I think I was around, like, 13 at the time when these got popular, and I would beg my mom for one. And I think she knew even back then that the trend was going to be short-lived, and I think it was mainly after the trend really died down that she got me one. Because she was like, there's no way I'm going to spend $20 to $30 on a fidget spinner. So, yeah, so I see these all the time in the thrift stores now. There was a ton of YouTube videos about it, and like it would hit on the trending page constantly. Yeah, there's fidget spinners. And another item that I got is 3D glasses. So this was before virtual reality, and 3D was like the craziest new thing. I feel like it has had like multiple kind of spikes in popularity of different times, like maybe like in the 1950s, the 80s, and the 2000s. Especially the 2000s were like crazy for 3D. I recently came across one of these 3D glasses, and this is like the exact like version of the 3D glasses I remember. Like these old kind of plasticky ones, and I've actually put these on. Oh my god, these are freaking weird. I've not seen this color scheme in a long time. It feels very weird. So yeah, I remember like a lot of like the 2000s being like they used to have like actual 3D Blu-ray players, and I always wanted one because like 3D was such a cool concept to me. Like the things that I can like actually pop out of the screen, or the illusion that it does. But I remember sometimes with movies that they would over-rely on the 3D kind of aspect. And I feel like a big example of that, even though this movie was before my lifetime, was Jaws 3D. And that terrible movie. Like, it was just so awful. And like, they just relied too much on the 3D. When it's done well, 3D is pretty good, but I feel like a lot of people over-relied on it. And I remember there was also a ton of like different like theme park attractions like Shrek 4D, and I actually have that movie, or quote unquote movie, on a DVD, which I should have brought it with me. But yeah, so I really like 3D when it's done well, so that's pretty cool. And then here's a kind of prized possession that I kind of found recently. So this is my Omega Maverick Yo-Yo. So this was a big time waster. Like, I would just be bored and then just try to learn new yo-yo tricks, and this is like the exact same yo-yo that I've had for over a decade now. It's actually a very kind of hard kind of material. I think it is metal. This thing was awesome. Like, but I actually want to try this out and see if I'm still okay at yo-yoing, because I think I did pretty decent before, so I'm gonna see if I'm still kind of decent at this. Okay, so I have my yo-yo with me, and I don't know how this is gonna go because I have not played with a yo-yo in so long, and I don't even know if this is tight enough with my finger. Okay, let's try it. So I'm just gonna see if this sleeps first and see if it's even gonna work. So it does it a little bit. All right, let's try and do a trick here. So the one that I remember doing the most is Rock the Baby. And I remember one time I actually hit myself in the face with it, so.
This is my trick called Around the Balls. Ow!
Alright, there we go. It's tight now. Alright, let's try it. Okay, come on. Okay, I still know how to do the string thing, but I don't know how to freaking make it go up. Yeah, I do remember having a lot of trials and tribulations with this yo-yo. Like, sometimes it will go up and sometimes it won't, so. Okay, there we go. Okay, that was way better. Oh shoot, no, I'm messing it up. Yeah, so, I'm not as good as I used to be. I do kind of want to try to practice with this a little bit more because I'm not good at it anymore. I mean, I did a little bit of the rockabye, but yeah. Okay, so that did not go very well. I don't know how I lost it that bad with yo-yoing, but yeah, so I didn't do that good. So, yeah, so another toy or another kind of item I have is the 11 Doctors. So this is basically the 11 Doctors in figure size. So I did have this like before like the new Doctors happened, like the Peter Capaldi and stuff like that. But this is all the way up to Matt Smith. I believe when I got this it was before Matt Smith regenerated. It was the last year that he was the Doctor. I think I got this back in 2013. And the reason why it's in a baggie is because I don't have the TARDIS box anymore, which I really regret throwing that away. It was really cool the way they did it because to store the figures in each kind of set, they would have the TARDIS and then have like all the kind of like figures kind of lined up and also have like each brief description of the Doctors. So it was actually really cool, and I do regret throwing that away. So yeah, so I just have a couple of them here. Most of these are in pretty good condition. The only one that's missing anything is Paul McGann. He actually is missing a hand here. So, which kind of sucks because even though I don't have all the sonic screwdrivers, I've been trying to find them, but it does kind of suck he doesn't have a hand. But other than that, most of these are in pretty good condition. And I think the 6th Doctor is a different kind of outfit compared to some of the later kind of releases with the blue one, which I really, even though some people don't like this colorful thing, I don't mind it. Like, I don't think his outfit's not bad. Now, the 6th Doctor, I do not like. I think 6th Doctor was so unlikable, and I don't think it was Colin Baker's fault that he was unlikable, but he is like on the bottom tier of the Doctors in terms of like a ranking. So like, and this was also when like the show was like really starting to go downhill, like it was about to be canceled. And it's kind of weird because we're kind of going through that same time again, because I heard that the new guy, that his shows are not doing well. Like a lot of people are not liking him. And it's kind of sad because I feel like he has good potential to be a great Doctor, but it's just like, I feel like there was a brief point where the show was getting exciting again with David Tennant, and I feel like now the hype is just not there anymore. Like, and I actually watched the David Tennant when he came back with the kind of short series that he did from Jodie Whittaker to him, and I think it was pretty good. It kind of sucks that the show is once again going downhill. It just, I feel like it might be canceled. But yeah, so I actually really like the show when it's not terrible and they're not retconning things. But yeah, so I think that's pretty cool. And then let's move on to some plushies. So I did a plushie collection back in, I think it was December 2022 or 23. It was somewhere around that time. I have a couple plushies I kind of want to show off because I don't want to show off all of them because I have over 200 of them. These are mainly like beanbags. So one of them is a set that I have all the cereal mascots I can think of. So this is part of a series, I believe, that was sold called the Breakfast Babies or the Breakfast Pals. I don't know like the exact name of it, but it was basically kind of like a promotion for like different on like different cereal boxes and stuff like that. So I have Sonny, Wendell, which I think Wendell might be my favorite mascot, and I'm kind of sad that they really discontinued him. Basically just the pieces personified now. So yeah, so there's Wendell, and then there's Honey Nut Cheerios Bee, or they call him Buzz Bee, which is kind of stupid. But yeah, so I just have a lot of these plushies, and I might maybe do a own video of like cereal characters and stuff like that, or like different mascots, because I've seen like a ton of like people do like the mascots I would fight and like all those kind of like Hunger Games videos and stuff like that. I might want to do that eventually. But yeah, so there's some of my serial character kind of beanies. And then a couple more plush animals that I have is, these are the ones that are probably the most kind of valuable in my collection. Which I never thought I would say that, but these are Song of the South Splash Mountain beanies. So, I got these back in 2016, and I was so obsessed with like the Song of the South movie, even though some people say it's racist. Other than like the animated parts, like the whole story about like Uncle Remus and stuff I didn't really care for, it was mainly these characters. And yeah, so I got Brer Fox, Brer Bear, Brer Rabbit, and the Vulture. I think it's Brer Vulture, maybe. These have taken a lot of, not like abuse, but like, they're a little worn. I mean, they're not in like bad condition. I do really regret taking the tags off, because I looked these up on eBay recently, and they are going for insane amount of money. Like, people are selling them for almost like $250 for the whole set. Now, if you try to buy them separate, it's not too bad. But if you try and buy them all together with all the tags, they are worth now over $200. I don't know if they're worth that, but people are asking for it. I really want to keep these for as long as I live, because these are vintage plushies now, and they're getting really hard to find since the Splash Mountain closed. And especially the big size plushies are selling for a whole lot of money. I actually do have the Brer Rabbit plushie from Disney World at the other house, and I haven't brought it over here yet. But yeah, so these I will keep for as long as I live, because these are pretty rare now, so. And then another kind of piece of tech that I kind of grew up with is this flip phone. So I did a revisiting flip phones video back in, I think it was earlier this year. And yeah, so I really like this flip phone. It's probably one of the nicer flip phones that was kind of available on the market. This is a Verizon Kyocera 4G, or I think it's a Cadence. This is a really cool flip phone. Like, I love the color. I think it's one of my favorite things about it, is the color is amazing. And the cool thing is that since it's 4G, this actually has LTE, and it actually can still connect to networks. I don't have a charge right now because it's charging via micro USB, which that kind of sucks. Like, micro USB, it's just, I'm so tired of seeing it. Like, it's just, I really do like USB-C so much better. So, but that's one of my only complaints about it. But yeah, so this has the ability to also get SD cards or micro SD cards put into it, so you can have an XML storage. But yeah, so there's also a video idea that I might do in the future. I'm gonna see if I can last like a week with this thing. And the reason why I kind of want to do this challenge is because, like, now that I don't rely on my phone as a camera, it would be a lot easier to just use this camera while I'm vlogging it. So that might be a potential video idea in the future. So yeah, this flip phone's really cool. And then another kind of item I have is not really a toy, but it's more of like a prized possession. This is my Adidas backpack. So you're probably asking, Zion, what is so special about a backpack? So Adidas, I don't really own anything else from them, but I remember I got this back in maybe 2013? I've had this since the 5th or 6th grade, and it has not been worn almost at all. Like, it's crazy because, like, you would think, like, since I've gone with this to school so many times, that it will just be worn eventually. It still works great. I know a lot of people kind of complain about those clear backpacks that some strict schools kind of require, and those fall off after a year. This is a backpack that I still use all the time. Like, it's just like the fact that it's not worn. I mean, the color in the front is a little worn, but like, it still works great. And like, I use it all the time. Because like, whenever I go to the other house, which I probably will be at more since I'm going to college, I'm going to be using this a lot more. So yeah, so it has a ton of compartments. Actually, the only thing is that this zipper is stuck and I can't get it open with this. This is the only kind of pouch that doesn't work on the very front. But yeah, so this backpack, I have used this for over a decade and it still works great. So I still use it all the time, so. And then the last kind of toy or prized possession I kind of wanted to talk about is the NES Classic. So, I talked about NES Classic in a few videos. I did one way back in like 2018 when they were announced they were going to return it. I got this back in 2017, and this was at the time where you could not find them anywhere. The only place you could really find them are like local game stores and on eBay, where they were selling for like over $200. And I remember I got this actually from a local game store for Christmas, and this was around $220. Actually, I think it went down to $170. But my parents spent way too much money on this. But I'm glad I have one because this thing, I love it. Like, it's such a cool way to kind of experience newer games on like a kind of higher quality display. And actually, what's really cool is I still have the original box. And this box is awesome. I've wanted to make sure that this stays in good condition. I think it's in pretty good condition for being 7 or 8 years old. And yeah, so I have the original box, though. I don't know if the poster is in it. I really like this thing. And I actually did hack it again, even though I've had issues with hacking it before. But yeah, so this is really cool. I might do a video separately, like on the NES Classic, and why I really like it so much, and how to hack it and stuff like that. So yeah, there it is. So thank you guys so much for watching. I know that I've been kind of posting a lot more since I'm going to be going to college. I kind of wanted to kind of post more before I go. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.